Who dat, guys? This is, my first real attempt at vlogging, and it's kind of ironic that I'm beginning my vlogging journey uh, by talking about a video that restricts my ability to vlog in the Philippines. With that said, um, this this new circular that was published May 26th of 2025 and went into legal effect on June 10th of 2025. We'll come back to those dates in just a little bit. I don't think that this new policy should really affect any vlogger that is creating their content in an ethical, respectful, and responsible manner. I believe that there's going to be some small tweaks, and I don't believe those tweaks are as limiting as a lot of these vloggers that are claiming the sky is falling and filming in the Philippines is dead, and none of that is true. There is a way to do things that's fair and responsible, and those things that you have to do doesn't have to be hard. I'm going to go over some of the things that will affect you as a vlogger, and the right thing to do, and how I'm going to handle it in my vlogs. Okay, so let's dive in and talk about what this, if you're not familiar, and if you're already a YouTube vlogger in the Philippines, no doubt you've heard about this, and I'm going over the same information that you've already heard countless times, but I'm gonna touch on it very, very quickly for anybody that hasn't heard about this, so that we can view it all in context and be on the same page. So the subject of this circular, NPC 2025-01, the subject is the guidelines on the processing of personal data collected using body-worn cameras. I am going to, I'm not going to read the whole scope and purpose. I'm going to give you my synopsis, and I'm no legal expert, or this is not legal advice or anything. I'm just going to give you my reasonable opinion on basically what this circular means, what it's for. What is it for? This circular is basically to prevent someone from using other people's information or appearance without their knowledge. That's why it's specified as relating to body-worn cameras. And I know people in the comments are going to say alternative recording devices, which is basically in the description of alternative recording devices synopsis. It's basically anything that can be used to make video or capture video or audio, whether it's a cell phone, GoPro, Apple Watch, smart glasses, anything that can record a video. and audio or audio. But it also states in that definition, any of those devices that's used, I'm going to use the exact wording, attached person of an individual, operated as an alternative or substitute for body-worn cameras. What that says to me is that if they're talking about a cell phone or a GoPro or an Apple Watch, anything that's capable of recording video being used in the same way as a body-worn camera. That's the focus of this circular. Now, it's later on in the video, I'm going to get broader than what this actually means. But the overall purpose is to keep people from being secretly recorded. That's it. That's this whole excuse me, circular in a nutshell. And that's completely fair. I don't believe that anyone should videotape and record people without their knowledge, you know, with the exception of, you know, like for legal reasons. But that's a whole nother topic. For the purpose of posting a video on YouTube and possibly making money from that, then no. There is never an okay time to privately film someone without their knowledge for your financial gain, ever. Now, down further, and I'm gonna spend my time on this part the most. So in section 3, part B, the part A, of course, deals with law enforcement agencies, and part B deals with vlogging. And there's there is mainly only one part that you need to worry about, and or not worry about, but pay attention to in the vlogging section. Is there's part 1, which, you know, you have a legal right to vlog in the Philippines for use on YouTube. It's clearly stated, or it says you can generally rely on section 12 part F of the DPA, the Data Processing Act from 2012. Unless, you know, your vlog contains a picture of someone getting into their car and their license plate number, or basically their privacy, you know, private information, you know, their credit card number, their personal data, not considering their face as data, but anything like that, then stuff like that, you have to have, you know, prove a more valid reason of having the video. But that's long-winded, and basically it's just, you have a right to vlog in the Philippines. There's nothing that says that you can't. But so we'll go to part 2, transparency and fairness. And there's 3 subparts to that section. And the part A is consent. Generally, and where appropriate and given scenarios, For example, interviewing specific individuals, vloggers, shall ensure transparency and provide adequate information to the data subjects prior to the commencement of any video recording activity, including the fact that the resulting footage will be uploaded, posted, published, or otherwise shared online, and how they may exercise their data privacy rights. How do you handle that? Well, here, if you were doing a public interaction vlog, walking around talking to people, you know, people are going to come up and, hey, how are you doing? Then at that point, if someone smiles, waves, wants to engage in conversation, clearly inform them that you are filming a vlog for YouTube. Are you okay with being on the video? Get a verbal response, yes or no, and react accordingly. And then if you're filming that type of video, going out talking to people, hey, you know, they're coming up, hey, how's it doing? Oh, you're vlogging, oh, that's cool. And just interacting with people. And you don't want a video full of, is it okay to film you? Is it okay to film you? Is it okay to film you? You can edit that out post after before you put it on YouTube. You can edit it out. It doesn't have to be on your vlog. You just have to have permission. And then keep the raw footage. Me personally, I'm gonna have SSDs, like say this one that plugs into my phone, and I can store, you know, a terabyte of video on each one. And, you know, I'll label them for dates and put them in a drawer. Sure, it's a little extra cost, but if you can get, 10 videos on 1 terabyte, I don't know how many, but at least 10, I would, unless you're shooting really high resolution and everything else. And of course you can save them as compressed files and, put even more, but let's just say 10 videos, $100. So you're spending $10 for each video. Sure, it's an extra cost, but it's peace of mind. Insurance, you store it away and you're good. So if you're interacting with someone on the street, or even before you do a video, an interview video, that someone you've already talked to them and, oh yeah, it's cool doing a video, then still record the consent before the video starts and start talking, so that you have that consent that's provable. And again, edit it out before the interview starts, but you have a record of it. Okay. Part B of that is, vloggers shall have an appropriate privacy notice on all online platforms, which shall provide details to affected data subjects on how to exercise their right to object, right to erasure, takedown of posts, among others. Again, that sounds like a big deal. Oh, I don't want to have to do. It's not a big deal. What you will do is either in a pinned comment or mention in your description, put in your description, and this is what I'm going to use, recorded in public under NPC Circular 2025-01. Bystanders are anonymized. Want your clip removed? Question mark. Email me at my email. That's it. Just that in your pinned comment or in your description is compliant with the circular. That's all you have to do. And I know I mentioned anonymized in that blurb, and we're going to get to that next, which is I think what most people are the most cheesed up about. And that's part C. Vloggers are required to use available technology that can mask images of bystanders, especially children and other vulnerable individuals. That's not hard to do. And again, people are saying, oh, I'm not going to be able to walk around and people smile and talk to me, and like it just ruins the whole video. Well, no, because you're telling people that are interacting with you that it's being filmed on YouTube and have their consent. All that, nothing changes about that. It's just requiring you to say, hey, you know, you do know you're being filmed and it's going to be uploaded on YouTube, right? And that's fair. That's respectful. There's like, people shouldn't complain about that. You should do that. That's a good thing. Anybody else, like if you can recognize their face and they're just walking by, minding their own business, ignoring you, it doesn't matter whether they're blurred or not blurred. They don't add anything to your video. They're not interacting with you. They're not part of the video. They're just background scenery, and here now, gone 2 seconds. Blurring their face is not going to change the overall appeal of your video. With a crowd scene, you don't have to blur anybody unless, like I said, they are clearly recognizable. But if you see a sea of faces and you're in it, you personally, like you would have to really scour and to know, oh, hey, that's me. But no one else in the world, apart from maybe your mother, would be able to pick you out in a crowd. It's just you're basically naturally blurred. You're blended in with, you can't. Anyway, I'm rambling about that. If a lot of YouTubers do like a motorcycle trip, and they've got their GoPro or whatever camera mounted on their motorcycle, and they're driving and showing the scenery, and yeah, there's people walking by. You can't recognize any of those people. You know, if you told that specific person that they're on the video, then they could probably pick out where it is, but no one else can recognize someone you're driving past. That's the whole point of this, is if people are recognizable, prominent as a bystander in your video, and they have no idea that they're in your video, then back to the body worn camera. Basically, to them, it's secret. You're secretly recording them because they have no idea. They're oblivious. So blur oblivious bystanders. Try saying that 3 times real fast. Blur oblivious bystanders that are recognizable. That's basically the 3 things that you have to do in a nutshell. To recap, well, I've got actually more. I want to go over the timeline for this. Well, like I said, it was published in May 26, 2025, went into legal effect on June 10th, 2025. There's a 60-day transition period from that ends on August 9th, 2025, to become fully compliant. So, you know, you have that time until August 9th. You can still post your videos and refine the process of doing it. And the big thing, I know there might be some YouTubers that are wondering, no retroactive changes are needed. If you had to have a video up that was put on YouTube before June 10th, 2025, you don't have to go back and blur any faces. You don't have to go back and put in the privacy notice in those videos. You don't have to do it. There's no retroactive changes needed. It's only from June 10th forward. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. I think that's pretty much all my notes for this video. Again, this is my first real YouTube video, so if you want to see more from me, how about subscribing and, you know, put a like, comment. I mean, I'm gonna it's my first real video, so I'm gonna answer every single comment that's in this post. I hope that it goes viral and gets 1 million views, and I have to answer 1 million comments, because my thumbs will be tired from texting responses, but I'll do it. And I just appreciate y'all stopping by and spending this little bit of time with me. And I look forward to doing some videos that are a little more fun and lighthearted than this one. It's, you know, yeah, it's kind of a downer that this all happens when I'm first, you know, throwing my hat into the ring of YouTube. But hey, it's not that big of a deal. It's gonna be good. Keep doing what you're doing. Respect people. Treat people with kindness. Be like the Filipinos. Kindest, nicest people I've ever met. And with that, peace out, you guys. Who dat? Love y'all.